Hey guys, today I want to talk about something real quick. Usually I don't think I would try to do this, but we're going to be opening up a new segment on our YouTube channel talking about um, talking about films that are either coming out or going to be coming out, or TV shows that are going to be coming out that are going to touch on issues that we believe in, such as disability issues and like finding yourself and sexual orientation, um, and different things like that. A friend of ours used to try and kind of do a film critique, but he couldn't really. I mean, she couldn't really get up the nerve to show off her movie geekiness on the camera. She thought it was going to come a little bit easier to her, but she realized, and she left the company, her own company. She shut it down. She realized she couldn't compete with the already established film critics that are on YouTube, such as Nostalgia Critic. I personally love the guy, but anyway, I digress. So I did start to think, like, look, being a writer and having a team here that helps me out, we believe in films, we believe in books, and they can talk about issues, whether it's through science fiction or whatever. They can have hidden messages about issues in the world. And I've been watching a lot of videos with filmmakers such as Jeff Nickel, and listening to writers' processes. So that triggered a new idea for our YouTube channel, which would be, we're going to talk about films, but I'm going to talk about, with my team here, I'm going to talk about what I believe they say through the films. Now, I'm not going to try and give too much about I'm not going to do a critique and say, okay, this guy finds this or this guy does this, but I'm going to talk about what we noticed in the interviews, or what I noticed, because I'm the one that watches all of it. But anyways, the first thing that I want to talk about is a series that's debuting on ABC, called Speechless. And I gotta be honest, being that I have a disability and being that former members of Authentic Mission have disabilities, we've always said, we need to see more of this. And I'm gonna touch on something, and then I'll talk about Speechless. But this kind of goes hand in hand, so hear me out on this. First, I'd like to say that in America, okay, there seems to be this, how do I put it? This growing trend, and they're talking about diversity in film, and there's not enough diversity and not enough ethnicity, and it's always the same group of actors. And then there was talk about the statistic element of it, and the fact that a year ago, most of the people that were voting in the Academy for the Oscars were older white men. Okay, but then it got me, and that's true. You tend to vote for what you identify as, okay? And if you're an older white guy, you're going to identify with films you grew up with or you loved as a film critic, actor, whatever, okay? But besides that, this bigger conversation was happening with diversity, and everybody was always focused on women, and hear me out. I'm not saying they shouldn't be, but hear me out. everybody was always saying, "Oh, well, there's not enough roles for women. There's not enough roles for older women. There's not enough roles for black men. There's not enough roles for black women. There's not, and so on and so on and so on." I could go on forever, but I don't mean no disrespect, but that's just focusing on race. Okay, that's true. That's not true. Whoops, that's not true diversity. Okay, it's not all about race or all about sex or all about, like, I mean, in terms of like gender. Sorry. Or it's not all about sexual orientation when it comes to diversity. What about even, what about people in wheelchairs? Okay, as a kid, I wanted to be an actor. Then I realized you have to do this little thing. As I got older and more conscious, I realized you had to do this little thing and be up on stage. And then I was like, no, I'll write the stories. So, we need to create more characters, more roles for not just ethnicity ethnic diversity. I know I screwed that word up, but whatever. I'm not going to try it again. We need to create more roles for people in wheelchairs. Do people not or I should say people with disabilities, period. Do people not realize that by doing that, you're encouraging some kid that maybe that's all he has is the movies because he can't go outside too much because his house wouldn't be wheelchair accessible, or he gets teased so he stays inside, or whatever the case is, okay? A lot of disabled people become closed into themselves and they become artistic in their own way. So if we show people with disabilities on screen, that's true diversity right there. We need to write, even if you don't, as a writer, you don't feel you can devote honesty to the project. If you want to write a disabled character, then you know what? There's a little thing called the internet. Do some research. Call doctors if you have to. I'm working on a project, and I'll be honest, I've chickened out in the last little bit, and this summer I'll be done, but I've written down numbers to psychologists and all that because I want these psychologists to look at my scripts that are about, one of them's about a person with mental illness and self-esteem and issues and stuff. And I want professionals to look at it and tell me if there's something else that they can give me for this character. Even though I've experienced anxiety-driven issues, I'm going to go to a professional because anxiety is not the same for everybody. But anyway, so what I mean is there's a little thing called the internet. There's a little thing called the phone. Call doctors. If you don't know enough about spina bifida, but you want to create a character with spina bifida and you're worried and you want to treat that character with respect, call a doctor, email a doctor, Skype a doctor, do whatever you got to do. But I don't know much about this show that's coming on to ABC, but this is, look it up, the trailers on YouTube. It's absolutely, look up the second trailer, not the first. The first trailer doesn't give enough about the characters, but it's got, I want to say Minnie Driver. Hold on, I'll get my assistant to look that up. Is it Minnie Driver that's at the top of it, my friend? The mom, right? Is that Minnie Driver? Just shake your head, yeah or no, so I can. Okay, thank you. Honestly, that's what we need, and the best I can tell, and like I said, look it up. It's on their Facebook page. the best I can tell, it's about a doting mother, but not Norman Bates bad, not Bates Motel type of shit. But anyways, it's about a doting mother trying to treat her son as normal as she can, even though he has cerebral palsy, which is basically what both my parents did. And all of their friends. Anyways, so the show, okay, the best I can tell, it starts off with they move to a new district for a new school, which will be more able to handle her son JJ's disability. And there's, like I said, the trailer's online. I'm not going to try and explain it all. It's just too funny. But there is a whole family. It's not just that one disabled character, but there's the disabled brother, there's another brother, there's the mom, the dad, or is it dad, uncle? I don't know. I haven't figured it out. The first episode hasn't aired yet. But the funny thing was, as soon as I see a person, no matter what, when I see them, and they're in a wheelchair, or they appear to have a disability on screen for whatever show or whatever, I'm always like, oh, I wonder if they actually have a disability or if they're just faking it, like that one guy on Glee, I guess. Or if they actually have a disability. The only actor off the top of my head as a kid that I could remember seeing with a disability was Christopher Reeves, and even then he wasn't born with a disability. But on this show, the son JJ actually does have a disability. It doesn't say what. He can't speak, I guess, hence the name. I think from what I see in the trailer, the title Speechless is supposed to have a double meaning, but he can't speak in the show, and I was like, oh, I wonder if he has a disability or if it's just a normal person that, is sitting in a wheelchair for the show. Which, I mean, if that would have been the case, that's a start, right? I mean, because, you need to... They're at least portraying someone, and hopefully it's honest on screen with the disability. But, I looked it up with a friend of mine, and I was like, holy crap, this kid does have a disability. Like, what? And then I'm like, extra curiosity kicked in, and I'm like, yeah, I wonder what this, because the character can't speak. So I'm like, I wonder what disability he has. I lived with someone that couldn't speak. I know a lot of people that can't speak because of CP or whatever. Sometimes it's tumors, sometimes it's surgery, whatever. So I was like, I wonder if he actually can speak. From what I could tell, he couldn't. But like I said, the first thing is you look at it and you go, okay, what's his disability? And guys, the actor, sorry, the actor actually has cerebral palsy, which is, it's like so, I don't mean this in a mean way, but as a person with a disability, it's so awesome to see that it's, that this actor does have a disability. I mean, if the character would have a disability and it be spina bifida, and then you Google it and it turns out the person has spina bifida, I'd feel the same way. Because they're at least giving a person with a disability a chance to be an actor. And lately, I don't know if this is just me noticing it more, but lately I've seen that more and more as a trend. For me, it started with Christopher Reeves, and then it waned off for a while. And then the other person that comes to mind that has cerebral palsy as an actor is actually R.J. Mitty, who's someone you might know as Walter White Jr. Yeah, Jr. So, R.J. Mitty, I've seen footage of him in the show. He walks with canes. In real life, R.J. Mitty does not need canes. Probably on a bad day, but, the point is he still has a disability. He still has cerebral palsy. And the in the trailer for Speechless, the person that's playing in Speechless actually has CP2, and I'm trying to think of what the actor's real name is, just so you guys can, if anybody's like ultimately curious to know what else he's done on screen, you could go look it up on IMDb or whatever. But I believe it's Mike. I don't know. I'm getting my assistant to look at it, but okay, our internet, for all you listeners out there, wants to be a bonehead right now for whatever reason, but that's okay. Yeah. Mika Fowler. There you go. I was gonna say Mike, so thank God I got my assistant to look it up. For some reason, I keep thinking, when I tell people, like, hey, this actor actually has a disability, for some reason I kept telling people, I guess his name's Mike. I, being a little bit of a film junkie, did kind of wonder, hey, is this his first role, or has he acted before? And I am pleased to announce that he has acted twice before. But the only other credit that he appears to have on IMDb was in Labor Day, which was directed by the son of Ivan Reitman, director, producer, writer of the Ghostbusters and Meatballs. Anyway, Jason Reitman's film, Labor Day. He plays in a couple scenes in Labor Day, and it's the scene where Josh Brolin and whatever her name is play baseball with her son. Anyway, so I'm just saying this so you guys could go look it up and try to figure out, like I did, if he can speak. From what I can tell, and even if he couldn't speak, I don't, it's unfortunate if the actor couldn't speak, but I don't care. The main point I'm focusing on is the fact that they actually gave another actor with a disability a job. And that is awesome. That is boosting for someone that I guarantee you right now is growing up, and their only escape is theater or movies or singing or whatever. I wanted to make this video to just say there, for anybody that's a member of any disability organization, whether it's a organization for spina bifida or whatever, okay, there is stuff we can do. If you get stage fright like I did, become a writer. If you get stage fright like I did and you want to do something and you want to create, paint, find your way. But the main thing is, there is stuff we can do. I'm going to do more videos I'm going to do another video about this tomorrow, just focusing not on actors, but on famous people with cerebral palsy. And you know what? Just for fun tomorrow, or not tomorrow because I'll be busy writing, but I'm going to look up other famous people with disabilities. I do know, for example, I believe, you know what, I'm not going to actually say who it is, who it is as an actor. I was going to say an actor that's dyslexic, but I don't want to get his name wrong, so I'll look that up tomorrow, or whenever I get back into the office. And we'll do another video just on disabilities, and if there's any comments you guys want to share, just go ahead, as long as you're 18 or over, due to our subject matter we cover sometimes on this channel. And there is hope for us. And whether you have a disability of any kind, man, there is hope.